These are going straight to the grill. Let's go. Woo, baby, listen to that sizzle. Check that out. Look at that gorgeous color here. So we're gonna get our homemade salsa on here. I'm gonna just have to take a bite. Ooh, crunch. Total don't get no better than that. A lot of people have requested and asked me if I know what is the recipe to the red fajita marinade that most meat markets sell. Well, let me tell you this. Every single meat market has their own little secret twist. And today I'm gonna share with you my own personal red meat market marinade that is packed with tenderizing and flavor enhancing ingredients. And making this recipe easy, friends, we're gonna start with how to make it step by step. I'll also share my thoughts on how long you should marinate your fajitas or your ribs or chicken or pork or whatever else you use this marinade on, because it ain't just for fajitas. And I'll also show you step by step how to grill your fajitas perfectly. So if you've been struggling with packing flavor and wowing your friends and family at your carne asadas, then stay tuned, because I promise this is the one recipe you need in your arsenal. Vámonos! But wait, this video is sponsored by Arnitex. This is my cookbook, friends. You can order it now. The recipe we're doing today, it's right here in the cookbook. I really like it, and I think you will love it too. You can order this cookbook. It'll be at your doorstep in the next few weeks. Get one, get two, get three for a family member or a great friend. Thank you. In this cup right here, I have the orange juice, the pineapple juice, and the lime juice. And right here we have the tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper. Then here we have the garlic, the onion, the oregano, and the cumin. 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. And last but not least, 3 tablespoons of achiote. Achiote is made from annatto seeds, the powder form or the brick form. Usually I buy it in little boxes of bricks. That is the best. It has a couple of other little ingredients that really add a lot of flavor. In my cookbook, I direct you to mix some of the ingredients in a bowl. But today, just for ease and for efficiency, we're gonna just go ahead and put everything in the blender. Now, all of this is all powder and liquid. Really and truly, you don't need the blender. But if you want it to all mix together a little bit quicker, so you can get started with your marinade, you can use the blender. And that's what we're gonna do today. You can also add a little bit of water to this, you can add beer, whatever, but that's not in the recipe. I'm just saying if you're gonna make a big batch, you can double this up and add a little more liquid if you want to. All right, let's go. And that's pretty much it, friends. About 20 or 30 seconds is all we need, because they're basically all powders. I just want them to blend all together a lot quicker. Okay, let's see what we got here. It smells really good. If you've never had a flavor bomb, this is a flavor bomb. Y'all gotta try this. It's freaking amazing. It just goes boom in your mouth. Of course, you're not drinking it, you know, the way I just tasted it, but it's gonna add that delicious flavor to your fajitas. It's great on steaks, it's great on pork chops. I might even put it on a hamburger, just saying. Come on now. Be good on chicken. Really and truly, this marinade could work on any protein, but I made it mainly for fajitas. Red fajitas are a very popular thing in Texas, particularly in deep South Texas. I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's a very robust, flavorful, savory marinade. I really think you'll like it. It's time to drop the fajitas into the marinade. So I've got my glass bowl here. You can use whatever container you want. So we've got 2 beautiful strips of skirt steak here. They're about 2 pounds each. This is the amount of marinade, just approximately perfect for this. You don't have to completely drown them. So we're gonna pour some right down here on the bottom. I'm gonna kind of rub that in on the bottom here. Put a little bit more. Rub that in. All right, cool. We're gonna pour some right up here. This is definitely a very, very rich and flavorful marinade. I promise you guys are gonna love this one, man. It's so, so good. Besides that, look how beautiful that color is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, amigos, we got all of our marinade onto the fajitas. It's somewhere between 4 to 4.5 pounds, might even be 5. I'm gonna get a little plastic wrap, cover these up, and go get them to the refrigerator. We'll be back in a few hours. So, How many hours is a few hours? If you're marinating thinner cuts like fajitas, steaks, or chops, then I'd say you can marinate for about 2 to 4 hours on the low end. Overnight is much better. Now, if you get ambitious with this recipe and you marinate a whole chicken, big beef ribs, a pork butt, or a chuck roast, then you might want to marinate it for at least 8 to 10 hours. And again, overnight is best. All right, now onto the grill we go. First, we need to get a fire started, so let's get that going right now. You can see here in my grill that I've got some leftover chunks of briquettes and some old lump charcoal, or probably wood, because I cook with a little bit of both. Today, I'm gonna reuse that charcoal. That's a pro tip. As soon as you're done cooking, if you still got a lot of hot fire, shut all the air down, top and bottom. That fire will go out really quick. You can always reuse that charcoal again later. So that's what I'm doing today. Nothing wrong with reusing what's there. This is my oldest chimney, by the way. It's a little bit less than a full chimney because I already have some charcoal in there. All we're gonna do is kind of add to what's already there. So let's get this fire lit up and get the charcoal rolling. My charcoal's lit up. I'm gonna dump this and we're going to spread it around a little bit. We're ready to cook some fajitas. Yeehaw! All right, where's my fire spreader? Genie? Dunk, dunk, dunk. There it is. I'm gonna move the charcoal over this way a little bit. I'm gonna leave a little room to the right side here, just enough. It's not really a true dual zone because remember we're grilling. And I am going to drop a couple of pieces of mesquite. That is my favorite wood when it comes to grilling. It's an awesome flavor, so we're gonna drop those right there. We're gonna lay this right here. I've got my air vents on the bottom inlet, halfway open. We're gonna open this all the way for now, because we want those mesquite logs to get lit up, to get hot so that they don't smolder or smoke too much. We want a little bit of that mesquite flavor, that hint of good South Texas grilling. We're sitting at 550 degrees. Man, I could feel it coming out of the exhaust vent there. While we're waiting for that fire to settle just a little bit, one more time, the recipe we're cooking today is in this book. It's the Red Fajita Marinade, 104 recipes of Mexican-American cooking and Texas-style barbecue. Over 20 salsa recipes in here. Friends, I know you're gonna love this book. I love this book, so I know you're gonna love it. Just saying. Let's get our grill cleaned up first. I'm gonna cut half of this onion here and show you guys how I like to prepare my onion for the grill. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I gotta clean the grill with an onion. So what I like to do is run some slits like this, and then you rotate it and run some more slits all the way to the end. And so you wanna make a lot of crisscross patterns like that, so that when it hits the grill and it's cleaning, it gets to sink in and kind of get the little edges clean as well. It only has 2 prongs, so you gotta make sure you put a lot of pressure on there and get it in there just right. Whew, that fire's hot, I can feel it. All right, here we go. It's okay to run it across a little bit, a couple times. So now we wanna open this up. Drop this whole half of an onion, it's already done. We don't need it anymore. It's time to drop some fajitas into the fire. Look at this beautiful color. It's kind of a gorgeous mahogany, reddish mahogany color. I've got them with the tong here. These are going straight to the grill. Let's go. Woo, baby, listen to that sizzle. Okay, I'm sliding them over this way. Got one more to go here. Check that out. Look at that gorgeous color here. Man. Now, we got one more thing to do here. We're gonna drop a little seasoning. Remember, we had a little salt in there, but it was not a lot. So we still gotta add that extra little boost of flavor. So we're putting that on here right now. We've had them on for about 3 minutes. We're running a very hot fire. Remember, my recommendation always when cooking over a really close hot fire is the flippity-flip method. I talk at length about the flippity-flip method in my cookbooks. This one went in first. Let's flippity-flip it. Oh yeah, baby, that's looking nice. Look at that gorgeous color. This one is running hot and fast too. Let's give it a flippity flip. Ooh, baby, look at that. We're gonna go ahead and shake a little more seasoning on here. This wow was created specifically for steaks and fajitas. So there you go. Now I can see that it's super hot there. So we are gonna put the lid on this time for just a couple of minutes. We want to maintain that temperature. We don't want to get our fire out of control. Remember, oxygen makes that fire breathe and it gets hotter faster. Alrighty now. You see there, you got a lot of moisture starting to come up to the top of the meat. That's when you need to flip. You don't want that moisture to evaporate and go into the atmosphere. You want it to stay into the meat. The heat pushes it from the bottom up So it wants to evaporate. You want to flip that over so it doesn't evaporate. You can see how the fire quickly toned down. We didn't get quite as much char on that side. So we're gonna let it kind of slow cook there just a little bit. Now that we got a nice little char on there, gonna give it a couple more minutes on each side, and I think we'll be ready to eat fajitas. Now, I'm not timing anything by an exact timer. I generally will go anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 minutes. Just depends on how I read the fire. Right now it's reading 425 degrees, more or less. Don't be afraid to cook, you know, by feel. It's always practice. Don't be afraid to mess up your meats. I know they're expensive nowadays, but trust me, it's like anything else. You're not gonna get better if you don't try and try and try again. Ooh, look at all that water coming up. You see it dripping off right there. It's dripping off right there. You can see it just kind of falling out of the meat. We don't want that. We want to keep that moisture in the meat. See this one here? Watch that water. All right, let's check our fajitas, see where our temperature is. Depending on how hot you're cooking, you can run up a higher temperature internally on your meat. This one's sitting at 135, 136. I don't know if the camera can pick it up there, but you can see it right there. But yet you see all the red hemoglobin coming out. It's not blood, it's hemoglobin. So it's that hot, but the meat has not quite cooked yet. And that's what's going on over here. This says 162, 163. 157. Y'all remember what that temperature was, because I'm gonna show y'all what that meat looks like here in just a little bit on the inside. I'm gonna get that first strip of meat that's reading in the 150s and 160s. I'm gonna lay it in here. I think it's gonna be very medium, if that. Maybe medium rare. But this one is sitting at about 137, 40 right now, 148. All right, time to go. They're both ready, friends. Both are ready. So here we go. Let's put some tortillas on the grill. I'm gonna show you how I like to prepare my tostadas. I moved my fire over to the side. This one looks like some mouse took a bite of it, but we're gonna eat it anyway. I think it was a big mouse. All right, we're gonna lay down those tortillas and just kind of let them hang out there. Have some fun there for a little fire in the heat. They're doing a little sauna bath. Meantime, let's shred some cheese, because we're gonna put some of that cheese on the tostadas. Now, one of my sister-in-laws brought me this big old hunk of cheese from Monterrey, Mexico. This is the real deal. Okay, we're shredding away for our tostadas, not chalupas. These really are tostadas. Now, you can use pretty much any cheese you want to make a tostada. Honestly, traditionally, historically for us, it's been the Longhorn style cheddar cheese. We love that one. Has a lot of flavor, but this stuff here is really good too. Let's check our tostadas one more time. It's been about 5 minutes. Ooh, they are definitely getting toasty over here. Almost too toasty. They're about ready to come out. But before they come out, let's get some cheese on here. We're gonna slow this down right here, just like that. Woohoo, yeah, baby. Check that out. Look at that, amigos. We have two very nice looking strips of carne asada. I've been saying fajitas all day because we do call these sirloin fajitas here where I live. A lot of people will say this is carne asada or rancheras or arracheras. It's really all the same thing, especially when you say carne asada. That just means grilled meat. But in some places, they only use one cut, so to them, carne asada is that one cut of meat. That's okay in my book. I don't judge nobody, man. It's all good. Let's get these sliced up. I'm gonna fold this over a little bit, get it off the cutting board for a second. So we can get this one sliced up first. I like to slice these about the length of the tortilla, more or less. So that's about 4 or 5 inches. So we're gonna slice it with the grain first and then across the grain. What did I tell you guys? That was 160, 67 degrees in some cases. Yet, look at how medium that is still. It's almost a perfect medium. It's a little more like medium well, but it's definitely not well done. Some people would say that at 167, it would be way, way well done. And ordinarily it would if you were cooking at a lower temperature, but at a super high temperature like that, it's not gonna happen. All right, let's go ahead and slice these up right here. Man, that meat's soft. I can feel it trying to jiggle away here. Let's slice up these two. That's what I call just about a perfect medium. Almost perfect. It's starting to be medium well, but it's still medium. You can cut them thin, you can cut them thick, you can cut them any way you like, friends. I mean, seriously, look at that. That's a perfect medium piece of meat right there. perfect, perfect medium. All right, let's keep slicing. We're almost done slicing here. Now, before we go any further, I know, I'm doing just quality control. Oh man, that's a boom of flavor. Wow, and it balances really good with the marinade and the beef. Doesn't overpower the beef. It just tastes great. Just beautiful. Let's keep slicing. All right, I'm gonna put these back over here. We don't necessarily need them all, but friends, look at that. Remember I told you guys, what was the temperature? 150, 160. It hit 167 on one of them. Look how that looks. I mean, it's perfect. Perfect medium, look at that. Just perfect. Pulls right apart. Tastes delicious. We're gonna cut these up into little cubes like this, and we're gonna get one of our tostadas. Let's get a couple of these, one for me and one for Terry. We're gonna get a little bit of carne asada on here, right here, just like that. We have two different salsas for your tasting pleasure. One's a green, one is a red, basically. All right, so we're gonna get our homemade salsa on here. This thing's already trying to break on me. That's how crispy it is. It's trying to break. I'm gonna just have to take a bite. Ooh, crunch. That's an awesome tostada right there. Crispy tortilla, melted Oaxaca style cheese. Man, tostada don't get no better than that. And yeah, you know, there's a little bit of that juice right here on the cutting board. You want to get that on your tortilla, get that on the plate right there, just like that. Ooh, yeah, baby. Extra flavor. All right, let's get some of this fajitas on here, some of these longer strips. Now, North Mexico, Texas, we are flour tortilla people. And generally, the way my parents grew up and when I was growing up, generally, everything's well done and toasty. Once I started to cook on my own as I grew up, you gotta be somewhere around medium, medium well, medium rare for fajitas, especially for skirt steak and fajitas to be tender. Once you overcook them, they're going to be tough no matter what. All right, so I've got these fajitas on this taco here. Y'all know I like a big fat taco, right? So I'm gonna put me another piece here. Just like that. We're gonna use salsa verde on this one. This is another homemade salsa that I made. Super delicious. All right, let's give it a taste. This is my favorite part of every video, y'all know that. Cheers, my friends. What's not to love? This is a flavor bomb, like I was saying. It really brings a delicious flavor to the meat. It's in the cookbook there. The exact measurements, the exact ratios. Right now you can order my cookbook where books are sold. There's 104 recipes in there of Mexican-American cooking and Texas-style barbecue. Hope you enjoyed it, friends. Keep the smoke light, make it work. Boom! Yum, yum.